Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. So, as I tell y'all, as I learn, I'm explain. So, we're going to go back in time. Just to let y'all know, we have the divine, right? Excuse me. The divine is a council. It's our supernatural council. These people have superpowers, okay? They have different gifts. Those are your gods, like Zeus and all of them, God the Father. You have people with celestial abilities and different ones. So for every universe, you have powerful people. So like I always tell y'all, whatever happens in the reality world is the same in the spiritual world. Okay? So all the most powerful beings that are in the universe are on the council. They're on the council. That's how it's like the laws are created. So no one don't disturb the other person's planet. Just like the way you have the different countries. And you have a council. God is the leader of the council. So, as I told you, Earth is hell. Earth is hell. This is hell. Every single person that's here on Earth have been corruptive in their past lives, in their worlds. And this is where you ended up at. You don't get out of here until you have fulfilled the life or done what you're supposed to do to be able to go back to your actual home. What you see, this is not our true forms. We all look different, okay? All of us look different. However, even though you die here, you come back alive and you got to keep going through different lives until you get it right. Well, see, this is what happened back in the time. The council used to take their energy out on Earth. Yes. So when you, like I tell you, when you have a lot of energy, you have to utilize it the right way. If not, you can destroy things, right? Right. That's what I said. So the council, whenever they was stressed out, they'll use Earth as the puppets. And they'll just destroy, do all hateful stuff. So anything you could think of that is horrible, this is what will happen here. Right? Right. I was on the council. They recruited me to the council as a kid. As a kid, because of my imagination, the way my brain operated, they brought me in. However, I didn't like what they was doing to the people. Okay? I didn't like what they was doing to y'all. But just like any laws or anything, you have to go along with things, right? I didn't want to. So I was very rebellious. So I told them at a young age, because they used to be mean and hateful towards me, because I wanted to be hateful towards y'all. So I said this: if I could come to Earth and I can change these people to be good people, then I get to control council, the divine. They was like, ha, 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 ha. You're right. That would never happen. I said, cool. So this what will happen. I'll get all y'all powers. I get to have every power that's out there. Every single power, every single power. I want it all. I want everything. And I want to have a happy life where I don't have to stress about anything. Yeah, right. If you're going to be counseled, then you're going to have to work every day. That's a job. That's a non-stop job. You're going to have to work every day. Been on counsel, you don't get no happy days where you can just do what you want to do like that, because you always got to work. That's why we take our energy out on everybody on Earth. Bet. Got you. I came down. And when I came down, Ye came down with me. Because we was attached to each other. He came down with me. So there was people or spirits or creatures or things on Earth. Okay? It was different things on Earth. So this is what I realized. I decided to make changes. I said, reason why so much chaos is because everybody looks different. So that's how we was formed. My imagination. I said, let's start there. However, someone else from the council came down. Remember I told you had an evil spirit? She came down too. Yep, came down too. Because they needed to cause chaos. They needed to keep an eye on me. One was to protect me, which was Ye. He was my protector. And then the other one was to try to keep me from completing the mission. I didn't want that to happen, but they was like, no. If you can do it, then you should be able to do it with this spirit attached to you. Because I was pure. Yep, I was pure. And the only way that I could blend in, I would have to have a spirit attached to me. So that's how it happened. My memory's coming back. That's how it happened. However, she corrupted Ye. And that's when the split happened. So in this process, they caused chaos on the earth. Okay? Because she somehow convinced him to switch over. Throughout time, and there was chaos on the earth. So I found out ways how to get people to do right. And you want to know how? Because everybody was fighting each other. Everyone was fighting each other. Everyone was fighting each other. It was like whoever lives for today. I made it into a game. I created the first game. So you know how like the Romans, how there was like a stadium and people come up and fight? It was my idea. That's how it all started. I made it a competitive game. And then people started wanting to watch. Now instead of everybody fighting each other, everybody like, I'm stronger than you, I'm stronger than you. Okay, let's make it to a game. And that's how we started games. Over time, I took what was evil and turned it to something positive. So yeah, people died, but they was going to die one way or another. So I made it into a game and then became competitive. And when it came competitive, now we got teams. Now we creating teams. Now people starting to work together. And that's how we started having these things. And then people started learning how to work together because I started teaching them teamwork. And once I started teaching them teamwork, then people started being a little bit happier. Before you know it, I created my own team. That's 144. Yeah. See, whatever they was doing, because that was part of the divine. The divine is to cause corruption. The divine was to cause chaos on the world. Because that's what we're supposed to go through here. That's what we're supposed to have went through here. However, what happened was, throughout time, they was still in their chairs. But what happened was, I committed suicide. I killed myself. And see, technically, I know how to rebirth myself. I know how to regenerate myself. Because they kept killing me and doing stuff, but I did it on my own terms. And the reason why I did it on my own terms is because these mother suckers kept finding me. So I did another suicide mission. Excuse me. So Jesus on the cross, yeah, I did a suicide mission. I allowed them to kill me. But it was more so I set it up. I couldn't do it myself fully. But the way I done it was for somebody else to do it directly to me. It still was suicide. It was suicide. So I died. But it was to prove to the people what they was doing. It was to prove to the people what was going on in the communities. Like, look at the growth we have. Look at all the great things y'all can do. But now all of a sudden, y'all don't want to pay attention to it. because the church is the divine. They're the divine. And I was trying to show the outsiders what the divine was doing to everybody. So I allowed myself to die. When that process happened, I allowed myself to become corrupt. And it was a suicide mission because I could have lost my heart in the process. But I didn't. I held on to it. Boy, it was hard. I held on to it. And because of that, I got tortured differently. So I got tortured in the spirit world really bad. So I was stuck in the spiritual world for a very long time. However, due to the people that I had helped in the process, they was there. So I had protectors in the spiritual world as well, because they recognized me. They saw that what I was doing, and they recognized me, and they helped me out. So while I was creating a team in the spiritual world, they was messing with things out in the reality world. So I had to go through another process. I went through the spirit, and I created a spiritual team. They didn't know it. They had an idea something was going on, but they didn't know it. So I created a spiritual team, and on that side. That's why the demonic side loved me, because I had put a team together. Because I had to talk to them about what was going on, that they was being controlled. Because see, this is what happens in the world. When people do wrong, right? When people do wrong, everybody go through remorse for what they do. The only problem is, if there's no support around them, they fall right back into the same thing again. But if you have support, you start learning things. Not saying you won't make the same mistake again or a new mistake, but you start realizing the trends of what you're doing in your life. So that's what was going on. I helped save the souls in the spiritual world. So even though they looked demonic, they actually was helping me out on different things. So eventually I came back to earth. And I came back stronger because I had a team with me now that they didn't really know about. And throughout time, what I did was, whenever someone passes away that was on the God's side, that I finally healed, this is what happened. Whenever they was on the God's side and I healed them, and the divine find out that I healed somebody, when they die, I tell them who to go talk to. I tell them where to go at. Harriet Tubman. I told them where to go at in the spiritual world. So I would direct them in the spiritual world, who to hang with, who to go with, how to do this and do that until their spirit comes back. Tell you, whatever happens in the reality world happens in the spiritual world. I was the Harriet Tubman in the spiritual world, directing people through the process. Excuse me. So what has happened over time, anything we have, there's good and bad. Cars, created the ideas of vehicles. The bad part, people get in accidents. No different than with foods and different things. Everything has a bad to it if you overdo it. That's why I said everything can be good. Guns can be a good thing, but you overdo it. So a gun can kill someone. A knife can cut meat up and fruits and vegetables, but it can still kill someone. See, I still had to follow the divine rules. No different than in the world. When people do stuff and they go against these higher ups and stuff in the justice system, you still got to be mindful of the rules. Because if you overstep the rule, then guess what? They can take you down. If you don't have enough of support or people on your side, they can take you down. And see, this is what the divine was pissed off about with me. They didn't like over time, how in the world she's still following the rules without being a part of the issues. Bless you. So guess what they did? They came to earth. because they couldn't destroy me from the top, so they came down. Now, they came down long time ago before cars and all of that, but they came down one by one. They came down. But what happened was, when they finally came down, because they needed to get me out. That's why they've been attacking me for decades. They needed me gone, because I was ruining their puppet master fun. That's why they've been attacking me. And they've been adding more to the team the whole entire time. But the problem about it is, they didn't understand how I still had love in my heart throughout the whole process. How in the world you still have love? How is it that you still doing these things? How is it? And they kept doing stuff, and I kept popping up. I kept being better. That's why these folks was attacking me all this time. Because they didn't understand how I had love in this whole system. How I was able to help heal this place. Y'all have no idea how horrible this place was. Compared to where it was, this is heaven on earth. And that's what they're pissed about. That's what they're pissed about. Because we have buildings, people learning stuff, people teaching stuff, people helping stuff. All of this stuff never supposed to happen. It never supposed to happen. But I taught people how to love. That despite what you went through, despite what you go through, forgive yourself, forgive others, and you can get through it. I proved that love can conquer all. So these elites, yeah, a lot of them going down. They mad at me, and they proud of me at the same daggone time. That's the crazy thing. They're pissed because they lost. They lost. How can one person change the world? Want to know how? With unconditional love. On that note, y'all have a blessed day.